today. From State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, it's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals taking on Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Here come the Cardinals, and it is Kyler Murray from Oklahoma who leads them out.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
First down, Murray. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
On 2nd and 12, Murray. His throw incomplete. The tight end, Max Williams, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia gets ready on offense behind Carson Wentz, the number 2 pick back in 2016 out of North Dakota State.
Just 3 weeks of games left in the NFL regular season. What's it going to take for him to win the MVP? What's it going to take?
Whatever it is, if he wants to strengthen that candidacy, no time like the present.
Yeah, and let me tell you what I think. Not only does he have to play the clean game, no picks, things of that nature, he has to have at least one significant play that we'll talk about all next week. That'll really give him a higher profile.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. Sanders has the first down and much more. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 23 yards. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He could see the play developing right in front of him. And once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, not bad. He was pushing 20 miles an hour. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll run with Sanders. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. The numbers for Sanders last week, 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power. We saw finesse. We saw speed. And what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because in that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Wentz now to throw. This is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4, second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And a lot of talent on this Eagle defense, and you've seen it on these last 2 plays, both losses. looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Shotgun now from Murray. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Throwing again. Murray on the screen. This is Edmonds. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 15 yards on the play. 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Throwing on 1st down is Murray. On the slant, complete to Hopkins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The receiving numbers for Hopkins a week ago. 3 catches, 68 yards.
This defense is ranked near the bottom of the league against the pass. You get the sense that he feels like if he gets covered on any call, he's going to be upset. He thinks he should be open on every snap in this game.
Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Murray throwing complete there to Hopkins. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Murray to air it out again. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 of the 12. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And it's caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't
would do
even
for
know
them?
why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
And he's able to put it through. A 10-play drive that time. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line. Let's go! Let's go!
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know it often happens, this is all still subject to change.
You're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament. And certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. Throwing his Wentz. They're trying for Rager, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Golden. And they will score. It's a pick six. Cardinals touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Gonzalez to add the PAT. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Wentz on the give to Sanders. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Sanders. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. You got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Throwing now is Wentz. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he will not get what he needed as he stopped short of the 1st down at around the 22.
It's now 4th down.
Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it, looking at a 4th down and 2. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it, looking at a 4th down and 2. Doug Peterson going to roll the dice here. They will go for it on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Open man, it's Rager. He's got it. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. They'll run on 1st down. Sanders. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. On third down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Elliott on for the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
Cardinals take over 1st and 10.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. These two teams trading touchdowns here in what has been a back-and-forth first half.
And ordinarily, we're trying to figure out how to break out of a stalemate. Here, you're trying to figure out if you can slow someone down while continuing your breakneck pace on offense. I know one thing. The people in the crowd, they're getting their money's worth right now.
And the fantasy owners like it.
Oh, without a doubt. They're just tallying them up, aren't they?
They're watching this game. Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
Here's Murray. Murray has it knocked loose, fumble. But I think a Cardinal was able to gain possession, yes, so they will hold on to the ball. Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
And that is incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly offense. And he's made it easy for us to put together a highlight package. Just wondering what he ate before this one started.
Let's include that in the package, right? Get the gourmet out here, figure it all out, and you're guaranteed he'll do that going forward as well, because with a game like this, you don't want to change things too much. Oh, yeah, you also want to continue to get that great blocking he's received today, too.
Yeah, kudos to the guys up front indeed. The drive starts with a completion left side. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes two to tango. Caught right side. It's Jeffrey. And they do get him down, but not before before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And I'll tell you what a bird's eye view I've got here, because that was absolutely something else to watch. Not a lot of wiggle in that. That was catch it and go, and he used those wheels of his to absolute devastating effect.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, not bad. He was pushing 20 miles an hour. They'll run with Sanders. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get a second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. They'll try to run with Sanders. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Wentz now on 3rd and goal. Going to throw right side here, complete. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Field goal would break the tie, but look at this. Instead, they're going to go for it on 4th and goal. Going for it with Sanders. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Cardinal defense comes up with a goal line stand. So the defensive front holding strong there on 4th and inches.
And how about the battle of big people up front? That turned into a leverage game, didn't it? Defensive linemen, they won it. Lower than the offensive guys, pushed them back, knifed through, and made a great play.
And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, Murray. Man open left side, it's Williams. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Now Murray. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
On first down, Drake. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
What's your thoughts on the touchdown?
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And if you're wondering just how quickly that sack occurred, the next-gen stats tell us 2.6 seconds is all he had to throw the football. Here's Andy Lee now, standing just outside his own goal line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 33. That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the number 1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now Wentz. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a 1st. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
This short throw caught by Goddard. He'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles have moved out in front.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a 1st down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the 1st down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Elliott now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. On the return, Andy Isabella. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now, under 100 yards of total offense. Back to the air on second down, it's Murray. That's complete to Edmonds, his running back. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. What a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain. How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly offense. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
35-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 15 yards on the play. 1st down.
15. 1st down, Eagles.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From midfield, here's Wentz. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Rookie Jalen Reagor, the intended target that time. And it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Wentz again. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
Personal flag, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Come on, go!
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
The kick by Elliott is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Russell Wilson, another strong performance, as his guys claim victory number 13 on the year. From there, let's get over to the Rockies to check out the Broncos at home in Denver. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Buffalo Bills. 28-3, the final score. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield, excellent in the W, as his guys get victory number 12 on the year. In our game, it's been Carson Wentz with a strong first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And this carries into the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked out officially at the 21.
Good job over there, baby. I see you. Good job over there, baby.
Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Wentz now on first down. That's taken in by the tight end Perkins. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
It's a second down run with Sanders.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack. Here's Cameron Johnston now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Gets it away, and I don't think Peterson will get a chance to touch this one. Angling for the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and he kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
first and 10. Here's Wentz. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And he goes out right around the 39. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
5 yards remain on second down. Here's Wentz to throw. He'll fire it deep for Rager. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Jalen Rager was the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Wentz now to throw. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
On first down, it's Sanders. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he's going to be stopped up just short of the first down at the Cardinals' 44. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And quickly finding Rager. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run on 1st down. Sanders. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and 9 and a yard. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Wentz. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. On the return, Isabella. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Murray a give. This is Drake.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From just shy of midfield, Murray got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Murray now on 1st down. And it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
They'll run with Drake. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Oh, man, it's complete. Williams. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
They'll get this to his running back, Edmonds. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Murray to throw on 3rd and 1. 4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage.
Incomplete.
Now the former Sun Devil, Zane Gonzalez, for the field goal try.
Field goal. A 27-yard attempt.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And that will finish off this 3rd quarter of play. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
28-yard line.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wentz throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. On play action, Wentz. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. On first down, it's Sanders. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Another run here with Sanders. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
A 3-yard gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
Now Sanders. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So that drives 7 plays in length. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC.
And it's right about this time of the year that you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
It certainly is, because we all know everyone is aiming for that #1 seed. But failing that, because only 2 teams in the NFL get a bye, 1 from each conference, that question becomes who's hot? Who's peaking at the right time as you start the playoffs?
2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Murray. Caught left side, Williams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. And his throw's going to be incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They're going for it. It's Murray. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
What's up, man?
Well,
we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 21-yard line.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Murray. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. From the gun, Murray. And the throw there going to be incomplete. And that went off the mark. A little late with the throw.
It's 4th down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Murray's got to have this one. And this is incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Eagles defense able to hold. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And, yes, out come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
His throw caught right around the 6. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
Roughing the passer, defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
They'll try to run this one in. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. Once again with Sanders. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Wentz now on 3rd and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 20 of the year, and the Eagles had 6 to their lead.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Elliott good with a PAT, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will be a touchback. No return from Isabella. The football going back over to Arizona now. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Shotgun now from Murray. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better.
Murray fighting, lost the football.
Carson Wentz sacked. A fumble on the play.
Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Murray with a 3rd and long. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look as they try to finish things off in this 4th quarter, and that current 5-game win streak looking like it's going to go to 6. Wentz to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. To throw is Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And it is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Cardinal defense comes up with a goal line stand. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow. Talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Well, based on the last 2 play calls we just witnessed, the word conservative is not in their playbook. Incomplete, and then they decide to throw deep from this point on the field. That's a team that's really getting after it.
Less than 2 minutes ago in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Able to find Isabella. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Murray now on 1st down. That's going to be caught by Kirk. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Now Murray again. Now a desperation throw deep downfield into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
It's now 2nd and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. He'll fire it deep for Rager. And this is going to be intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it. And he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game.
Today's final score.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Philadelphia, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco.